Traveling, you are now in Canada, you have landed here. What should be on your list of things to do? And this is, there's been a lot of vlogs made about this. I'm not going to be the first one that is making a vlog on this, to be honest with you. But what I'm going to do is give you my perspective, and maybe there are a few things in my perspective, in my story, that might help you out, that you might not have gotten from other vlogs out there. So everybody, welcome back to another episode of Canadian Sea, my YouTube channel. Another exciting vlog for all of you out there. Don't go anywhere, keep watching. Hey everybody, welcome back to Canadian Sea, my YouTube channel. And it's a bit crisp today, and as you can tell by my shell, that's what they call it. It's like a lightweight jacket. It's not a jacket, but just a cover, or you can say a fleece of some sort. Yeah, fall is here and summer is over. So today's vlog is going to be about another important topic that relates to a vlog that I made a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure you saw that vlog. If you haven't, please make sure to check that vlog out in the video section. It's about the top 10 things to do before you come to Canada. That's that vlog. And today's vlog is going to be about the top 10 things that you should do after you have landed in Canada. So without any further delay, let's get started on this topic. So I've come down to a park in Port Credit, one of the coolest places one of the cool places in Mississauga, I should say. And I've come down to this park here to sort of make this vlog. So let's go find a place to sit, and let's get started with our very exciting and informative vlog of today. Now, well, you've done your traveling. You are now in Canada. You have landed here. What should be on your list of things to do? And this is, there's been a lot of vlogs made about, to be honest with you. But what I'm going to do is give you my perspective, and maybe there are a few things in my perspective, in my story, that might help you out, that you might not have gotten from other vlogs out there. So I always try and make sure that I give a unique perspective, and there's always things that we figure out while researching that we could have done better and whatnot. So I've made a list of those top 10 things that you need to do after you've landed in Canada. So the first thing that you should do is, of course, move into a place. You should move into a place, an apartment or a house, whatever you had made a plan to stay in. You should do that. Now, of course, when you have landed here, and let's say you don't have any connections, and let's say you didn't do your research, let's say you didn't do what you were supposed to do before. So what you can do is make sure to just stay at Airbnb. You could stay at Airbnb, and then make sure that when you're staying at Airbnb, that that you search for where you want to live, and the other things, once you've found a place to live in, is to set up your electric account. You have to set up your water, figure out whether these utilities are paid for in your apartment lease or whatnot. And it brings me to a very important point regarding leases. Make sure to read all the terms of the leases, okay? Review them. And there's a lot of challenges that you might have if you don't have a credit history. For example, if you don't have a credit history, it's hard to get a lease. But guys, I was able to get a lease even without a credit history, just because the person that I rented from was an immigrant themselves. So there you go. There are options out there. Just be honest and tell them, and be ready to move into your place as soon as possible. The second thing that you should do, that should be on your list of things after you've landed in Canada, is to set up a Sid number. Sid number is very important. It's called social identification number, and you need this for a lot of different things. I can't stress how important this is. You'll be asked for this particular number whether you're setting up a phone or setting up a bank account and whatnot, and you might need it for a lot of different facilities out there. So just make sure to get a SIN number as soon as you can. You could go to any Service Ontario, I believe, Service Canada, Service Ontario. You could Google that. I forgot the exact name, but you could go there and apply for your SIN once you've landed in Canada. Now, once you land at the airport, there's this another thing that you should need to do after you've landed at the airport, of course, is that make sure to give an address of someone that is already in Canada, because you might not have your own address at that point. So make sure to already have some sort of an address here. You can always research, try to find out some connections. You need to find someone trustworthy, guys, because you might need to give some trustworthy person's address. If not, then you need to make sure you find a place, and once you find that place, that you give that address to at the airport, I believe. I think it's at the airport. You have to give that address. You have to sign that form. It's been a while now, but I do remember that it was something that was required to do, is to find is to give someone's address, so that once they receive the PR card, they can they can give it to you, or once you receive your PR card, you can use it for other purposes as well. The fourth item on my list of things to do after you've landed in Canada is probably also another important thing that you should be doing as soon as you can. And please check out that vlog that I made earlier, because there was something about this point that I mentioned in that vlog, in that earlier vlog, about what you need to do before you come to Canada. And after you've landed in Canada, well, you need to get a bank account. How are you going to buy things? How are you going to purchase stuff? You can't just use cash everywhere. And trust me, I mean, there are places that are still taking cash, but it's a bit of a challenge. What if you will be required to make purchases? You're not going to carry a lot of cash with you all the time. So make sure to get a bank account, apply for a bank account, start that process, check out the deals. I talked about this in an earlier vlog. Make sure to check out that vlog about what kind of research you can do in regards to banks, and set up a checking account is what they call it. Get a credit card, because you can use a credit card to make purchases. It's always smart to get a credit card, because that's how you can build a credit history. So make sure to set up a bank account, and as soon as you land here. Another thing, and this is item number 5 on my list, that people often realize when they get to Canada, is that, well, you've found a home, you found a nice place to live, and let's say it's not a furnished place, let's say that it doesn't have all the furnishings. Well, you need furnishings then, so make sure to purchase furnishings through various websites out there. There's Kijiji, which is a popular website in Canada for a lot of buyers and sellers putting their items out there. So you could use Kijiji to make sure that you are getting whatever you need for your house or apartment that you're going to stay in. You'll need to do shopping for a lot of other things, like mattresses and whatnot. I would suggest buy mattresses over at the retailers or the stores. You can always, it's a bit controversial. I wouldn't recommend getting a used mattress, but that's what we did. And then initially, and because we didn't have anything and we need to buy a mattress, so we used a mattress. We put clean bed sheets on it, but then we all, of course, went ahead and got our own mattress in a few days. So make sure to get furnishings as soon as you land in Canada. Item number 6 on the list is start setting up coffee chats with those network contacts that you probably and hopefully have researched before to meet. So try and set up. Now, COVID is over now, so you can make sure that you are that you can go out and meet people at coffee shops, restaurants, or outdoor places. So make sure to start networking with those people, meet them. It's guys, it's all about just don't go up to someone and say, hey, I need a job, what do I do? It's about making sure that you are respecting someone else's time that is here, because remember, people are very busy in Canada, so make sure that you are also providing something of value to them, in the sense that you are valuing their time. Buy coffee for them, that's okay, buy at Timmy's. It's not that they need your coffee, but it's a nice gesture, right? Buy coffee for them and then have a chat and a conversation and build that relationship with your contacts. Item number 6, or I should say, item number 7 on my list of things to do after you've landed in Canada is, and this is something that I think can be of benefit to a lot of people that are going to be starting to looking for jobs when they've landed in Canada, is to connect with professional networks out there and professional services. The government of Ontario provides professional services for all of the new immigrants to start building their CVs, building their contacts, applying for jobs. Services such as TRIAC, EIC, that's the one. That's one of them. Then there is Access Employment. I think I use Access Employment to get to apply, to prepare my CV, to prep up for interviews. They actually prepare you for interviews as well. So make sure to use and avail these services provided by the government of Ontario for the benefit of immigrants when you're applying for jobs. Number 8, and remember, these items are not meant to be done in this particular order. You can do any of these items in any particular order. They're just a list of items that you need to do, or a list of things that you need to do after you've landed in Canada. And item number 8 is about getting a phone. You're going to be here and not a phone, I should say, getting a phone service. You're going to be needing phone service because you might not have Wi-Fi everywhere, and let's face it, you need a Canadian number. So go out there and find what kind of options and deals are being offered by Canadian cell phone companies. There's the one thing that is controversial here is that you don't have a lot of choices here, so you can still do a little bit of research and make sure you find the cheapest options. Don't go on a contract is what I would suggest. I went on a contract unless you absolutely feel that you need a new phone. I had to go on a contract because my old phone, I didn't think its battery would get weakened up so badly and drained so badly when I landed in Canada. I think that was the reason why I went for a contract, but you can always go for a month-to-month option and then later on decide if you want to go for a contract. So buy a good phone service because that's what you will need when you're outside talking to people and using your internet data. Now phone bills and phone contracts and phone services in Canada, or cell phone services and internet services in Canada, mobile data plans are quite expensive. That's something that you will find out. And that is something, just because there's not a lot of competition, that is one reason why the prices are a bit high. But again, search for deals and try to find out some discounted options and packages and what is being offered, and you should be good. Item number 9 on my list is to find, which is linked to an earlier point, but it's something that is a tip for everyone that's looking for jobs, and something that I want everyone out there that is interested in migrating to Canada to know, that you don't necessarily just have to apply for a full-time job. You can apply for a part-time job if you're not getting a full-time job, or you can apply for contractual jobs. Now, the beauty of these kinds of jobs, guys, less hours, I know, but you can, it's a good way to make your name and prove your skill set to that prospective employer before you apply for like a full-time position later on with that company. And the beauty of part-time opportunities is there's a lot of good part-time opportunities. You just have to look out for on sites such as and there's a lot of freelance jobs on Fiverr, on a lot of other freelancing websites. Make sure to Google and search those websites, because that's one way of starting to earn money right away after you've landed in Canada. So make sure to find any kind of opportunities, any kind of job opportunities. They could be part-time, they could be contractual opportunities, casual opportunities, temporary opportunities. Don't restrict yourself to only full-time opportunities. You can always get a full-time opportunity. If you're not getting a full-time opportunity because there's a lot of competition, go for other opportunities so that your time is not wasted and your skill set keeps on developing. Okay, the last point is, and this is more as I should say, it's not an item that you should be doing, but it's the attitude that you should be having after you've landed in Canada. And I talked a little bit about this in an earlier vlog as well, in my earlier vlog, and that is, after you've landed in Canada, now that you're in Canada, you're here, welcome, excellent, guys, you've made it. Now, don't give up. Never say die. Have that attitude and that resilience whenever you're doing something, and trust me, you will make it in Canada. Canada is a country built by immigrants. It has a lot of opportunities for people that are willing to put in the effort. It's a country that welcomes everybody, that has welcomed everybody in the past. And as long as you're here, you are working hard, paying your taxes, and contributing to the economy. You will find that you become part of this great country, and with time you will see that things that were difficult at the start, so for example, everything will seem different at the start, right, because it's different from the way things are being done in your country, but that doesn't mean that you should let that affect your attitude in any way, or you will of course have some culture shock when you land here, but remember, you came here, you chose this beautiful place. Now give this place a chance. Keep trying new things, keep an open, positive mindset, and have that resilience and determination that no matter what, you're going to make it here. And guess what? you will make it here then. All right, that brings us to the end of our vlog today. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you found this vlog about the top 10 things according to me that, you know, again, these are related to my story of migrating here. These are sort of personal, and let me know if these tips help you out. Put your comments down and let me know if any of these tips actually help you out. And you know, there's a lot of things that you should be doing. This is not a comprehensive list. I wouldn't say these are some items that I felt were a priority for me when I landed here. You might have slightly different priorities. You might have slightly different points. And again, you'll get a lot of information from all the other vlogs. The beauty of YouTube is if there's a point that is not in Canadian CS video, you can find it in another vlog. So make sure to check out other vlogs out there. And you know, I hope you found this vlog useful. Like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, bye-bye from Canadian Sia. And remember what I always say, keep trekking.